Thanks for joining us. 13 News at noon. We do want to get to some breaking news right now. The jury is now deliberating the verdict in the trial of two IMPD officers charged in the 2022 death of Herman Whitfield III. This comes after closing arguments from the deputy prosecutor and defense attorneys. IMPD officers Adam Ahmad and Steven Sanchez face multiple charges, including reckless homicide and involuntary manslaughter. In closing arguments today, Deputy Prosecutor Jana Skelton claims Whitfield did not know he was running towards officers before being tased. Skelton says once he was on the floor, it was the officer's choice to keep him on the floor. Skelton says the officers ignored their training and are guilty of all charges. Skelton says, in part, Herman needed their help and they killed him. While defense attorney Mason Riley says the officers were reasonable in all of their actions and nothing they did caused Whitfield to die. Our Rich Nye is live tweeting from the courtroom this afternoon and will continue to keep you updated on the very latest on 13 News at 4. Well, we'd like to welcome in here today for the noon show. I'm Julia Moffett in for Karen Campbell on this cold Friday afternoon, and meteorologist Rob Ellis is here this afternoon too. We are getting a tad bit warmer.
Just a little bit.
And the sun helps, I would say that.
So much. The sunshine, we're really going to see it for the next several days. So this is good news. And the warm up, it's going to get warmer and warmer every single day. Looks great for the weekend. We got to get through a cold day first though, and it's still 27. We haven't gotten above freezing. We probably will not for most of you today. There's still a bit of a wind chill. It's not as bad. The winds aren't as strong, and certainly the sunshine does help. 18 is what it feels like currently, but here's perhaps a little hint of what is to come. This next graphic, we are 8 degrees warmer at this hour than where we were yesterday. So adding about 10 degrees from where we were yesterday. We'll do the same thing for tomorrow. We'll do the same thing the day after that. We'll get a little bit warmer the day after that. You see where I'm going with this? It's a warming trend that's going to get us all the way up into the 50s. But we're starting so much colder today, I think about 30 is all we'll be able to manage. Give or take a couple degrees either side of that. Your mileage may vary, but the clear skies certainly help. And look, we've also kicked in with a bit of a southwest wind. The sunshine and the southwest wind, the two of those together, that's going to bring the warmer temperatures here over the next several days. So temperatures tonight will drop back down to around 20, maybe upper teens for some of you. For most of you, I do think that looking ahead to tomorrow, not quite as cold, more sunshine. How about 40s in your forecast? I'll show you when the 50s arrive coming up.
All right, thank you. Looks good. Well, new for you today at noon, we're learning that an 11-year-old girl is in critical condition right now at an Indianapolis hospital following a shooting in Richmond. This happened around 5 yesterday evening. Police say they were called to Reed Health Hospital after the young girl came in with a gunshot wound. Investigators later found the shooting happened at a home on South 18th Street near East Main. Following a recovery of evidence and interviews, police arrested a 17-year-old boy. He now faces multiple charges, including criminal recklessness. Authorities in Lafayette are investigating after a deadly shooting inside a laundromat full of customers. This happened around 7:40 last night when police got a call about a man with a gun inside Lafayette Laundry. When officers arrived at the business, they found 4 people had been shot. Police say 2 of the men were taken to the hospital in critical condition. 1 was pronounced dead at the hospital. Police say another man and woman are still in stable condition this afternoon.
I think it's a very tragic event for our city, and we ask the community to be patient with us as we're going to gather all the facts, and we will make sure that we're transparent and we let the community know exactly what happened here tonight. But it is a tragic moment, and we just ask that everyone just keeps their minds in prayers for the ones that are recovering from this.
We know that the shooter was one of the wounded, so we are working to learn that person's condition and what triggered the shooting. Well, we do have an update now in a deadly police shooting that happened near Brookville Road and 465. You may remember when this happened, police were called to a crash at an office park lot Wednesday and were met by a man with a machete. Investigators say the suspect knew the victims. In fact, he crashed into their car just before police arrived. Investigators believe the suspect waited for that man and woman to leave the office, and that's when the woman got out after the crash and was allegedly slashed with that machete. The man was also hurt but ran for help. Witnesses say the suspect waited for police, and when officers arrived, he lunged at them with that machete, and an officer shot and killed that man. Police say the suspect was a former employee at one of those businesses there. The two victims are expected to be okay. Well, this afternoon, we know that the Indiana Supreme Court is denying a stay in the execution of Joseph Corcoran. The Capitol Chronicle reports that decision came in 3-2. The justices did not explain the decision after ruling. They say they'll issue an opinion at a later time. The Chronicle also reporting that Corcoran sent a letter to the court saying he will not make any more appeals. In that letter, he asked the court to withdraw the motions. Corcoran was convicted of killing 4 people, including his brother, in 1997. He's set to be executed later this month. Well, news of Corcoran's stay comes as a Republican state representative is working to end the death penalty here in Indiana. Representative Bob Morris of Fort Wayne has filed a bill to repeal the death penalty. He also wrote a letter to Governor Eric Holcomb asking for a delay of executions until after lawmakers have considered his bill. We're just over a month away from the legislative session beginning here in Indiana. Well, before Governor-elect Mike Braun takes office next month, he's unveiling a bold vision for Indiana's future. 13 News State House reporter Emily Longnecker talked with the soon-to-be governor about his plans.
Governor-elect Braun laid out several priorities in what he calls his freedom and opportunity agenda. Some of those priorities include addressing property taxes and streamlining state government. Another priority, health care.
Indiana's next governor says he wants to invest in a healthier Indiana.
I'm going to try to encourage employers to use plans that stress wellness and prevention.
That's an approach the new governor says he took in his own business with his employees, lowering their health care costs 16 years ago.
We don't pay attention to diet, lifestyle, and a simple profile of where is your own health at, and then try to energize Hoosiers to be caretakers of their own plant and equipment.
The governor-elect isn't new to trying to address the cost of health care. He worked on the issue as a state lawmaker and United States Senator. Braun, a longtime business owner, has frequently said he'll take an entrepreneurial approach in his role as governor, running the state like a business. For Hoosiers insured through their employers, the state has little control over those plans. But the cost of health care could still be impacted through some of the measures the new governor is proposing, like greater price transparency requirements, more regulation on pharmacy benefit managers, and reforming the authorization process.
If it's pretty routine, why should you have to go through the administrative side of doing a prior authorization? If it's going to be some complicated, expensive modality, yes, just put common sense in that too.
The governor-elect's agenda also emphasizes continued coverage for pre-existing conditions and reforms to mental health treatment in hopes of reducing the burden on the criminal justice system.
Coming up tonight at 6, I'll tell you what the new governor has to say about access to rural health care and what his plan outlines for increasing that access. At the State House, Emily Longnecker, 13 News.
Well, a heads up for drivers on the northeast side. Right now, crews are working on several areas along I-69 as part of INDOT's Clear Path project. Only one lane will be open on I-69 southbound and 3 ramps are closing. That includes the ramp from 96th Street to I-69 South, and then tonight the ramp from 106th Street to I-69 South and the ramp from I-69 South to I-465 South will be closed. Now that ramp is expected to reopen Sunday at noon, while all other closures are set to reopen by 6 a.m. Monday morning. And that says the improvements will make a big difference for drivers.
It is a short span of time for us to be doing hitting a huge milestone. So these significant ramp and lane closures are needed to shift I-69 southbound traffic onto 3 new bridges and open up 82nd Street ramps.
The project is set to be completed by this time next year. Well, sunny skies for the Big Ten Championship that kicks off tomorrow night at Lucas Oil Stadium. Fans will be coming from all over to see Oregon and Penn State face off. Indianapolis has hosted the Big Ten Championship since 2011, and every year they aim to make it bigger and better. The Big Ten is the best-selling conference championship on StubHub. The ticket marketplace says buyers are coming from 49 states, with Ohio leading the ticket sales, followed by Indiana and then Pennsylvania.
All these fans coming in is going to be a huge impact for our restaurants and our hotels and things like that. So year in and year out, this is a big time event, both economically for our city.
There are other events as well that will be happening around the championship game, including the world famous St. Elmo's shrimp eating contest happening tomorrow, if that happens to be your thing.